Good morning. This is Breakfast with Natasha Kaplinsky and Bill Turnbull.
Welcome to the West. Blair tells Eastern Europe you can work here, but you can't claim benefits.
That's our main story on Breakfast today, Wednesday, the 18th of February.
Good morning to you. Thank you for being with us this morning. Also on today's programme, 7 a.m. on New Queen Street in Scarborough, we're going to be finding out just what was worth queuing for.
Taking drastic steps to stamp out compensation culture, Mike Sargent's in Manchester.
Yes, compensation claims for local councils are costing £1 million a day for people tripping up on pavements. That's why here in Manchester it's out with the paving stones and in with the tarmac.
Mike, thank you. And later on in the programme this morning, the return of rock as the darkness dominates at the Brits.
This is the award that we all secretly were wishing for. It's huge and again, a tremendous honour and privilege to have received it.
First, our main story this morning. The leaders of Britain, France and Germany are to hold a summit in Berlin today as the EU prepares to get to grips with an expanded membership of 25 countries.
Tony Blair is worried there could be an influx of people from the new...
Thanks also to Tristana and to Joe Coburn. The time is 40 minutes past 8.
It certainly is. Coming up on the programme later on this morning, lighting up the Brits, the darkness are the stars of Britain's most prestigious music awards. We're going to have all the highlights for you later on.
And we're going to talk to a veteran of Dunkirk as the BBC screens a major new documentary about one of Britain's finest hours from the Second World War.
And why compensation cheats are heading for a fall in Manchester.
Yes, compensation claims for trips and slips on pavements like this are gobbling up more than a third of the council's entire road budget here in Manchester. We'll find out what the City Council plans to do about it in a few minutes' time.
Well, it's cold enough for Carol to be wearing another coloured duffel coat for us this morning. So what's the weather like for the rest of us? Good morning.
Good morning. It's cold really wherever you are today, Natasha, and it's going to get colder, especially in the south.
Except for the darkness, solid British gold.
They are.
In the next half hour, we're going to find out why hundreds of people queued around the block in the seaside town of Scarborough.
And as the BBC screens a new documentary series capturing the drama of Dunkirk, we're going to be speaking to a former soldier who was rescued from the beaches there.
Right now, let's join our news teams across the UK.
Hello again, good morning. If you've just joined us too, Tina Banks here with the North West News. Officers investigating the disappearance of missing Cheshire teenager Shefali Oza have travelled to Cumbria. Cloud again, but sunny spells will develop to leave a high of 8. And you can get a full roundup for the weather at 8:45 from Tory Good. See you later.
Welcome back. You're watching Breakfast with Bill Turnbull and Natasha Kaplinsky.
Come to Britain to work, not claim benefits. That's the message to workers from Eastern Europe at 8:31. Moira has more on that and the rest of the morning's news.
Many thanks. Morning to you. Tony Blair is to hold talks with the French and German leaders in Berlin at a summit which is already... Those are main stories. Back to Bill and Natasha.
Moira, thank you very much indeed. Now, here's a taste of what's coming up later in the programme. The war drama that stitched Hollywood's spin and lets the facts tell the tale. We'll show you a glimpse of Dunkirk, a 3-part television drama documentary starting tonight.
After 9 o'clock this morning, the Brit Awards are beginning to rival the Grammys on the international music scene. We're going to be telling you who got the gongs at last night's celebration.
And they describe themselves as living sculpture. We'll be meeting the dandies of the art world, Gilbert and George.
That's all to come, plus plenty more. Now, the sport with Mary. Good morning.
Thanks very much. Good morning. You know the story around this morning about Henry VIII, who apparently was a bit of a football player in his time?
Well, he had a pair of boots.
Yeah, which presume meant that he did play, unless he just sort of had them there.
Yes.
I think if he was around today, you know, he might have a chance of playing in Portugal tonight.
Everybody else is, why not?
Yes, Henry VIII at centre-half. It's an interesting thought, because England are in Portugal for a friendly, and for many squad members, it's one of the last chances to impress Sven-Göran Eriksson before this summer's European Championship. Tonight could be the last.
Welcome back to Breakfast. The portrayal of pivotal moments in the war, as told on screen, have been heavily criticised over recent years, haven't they, for being more about reinvention than about retelling. But a new 3-part series starting tonight has ditched Hollywood stars. Moving on, and we've got an extended programme as usual today. We're going to be talking later about why compensation cheats are heading for a fall. We're going to be live in Manchester to find out how it's trying to reduce the number of claims for tripping over pavements.
Right now, let's trip over to the latest from the BBC's newsrooms across the UK.
See you in a minute's time.
Hello there, a final good morning from me today. Tina Banks here with the North West News. Officers investigating the disappearance of missing Cheshire...
Good morning, this is Breakfast with Natasha Kaplinsky and Bill Turnbull.
Thank you for staying with us. In the next half an hour here on the programme, a bright night for the darkness. We'll take you through the winners and the losers at last night's Brit Awards.
How one council is literally taking its battle against the compensation culture onto the streets.
And they're described as living sculpture. We're going to be meeting the godfathers of Brit art, Gilbert and George.
Right now, though, let's get the morning's main news from Moira.
Many thanks. Good morning. The leaders of Britain, France and Germany are to hold a summit in Berlin today as the EU prepares to get to grips with an expanded membership of...
For the time of the year, that won't feel too bad at all. Whatever you're doing, have a great day. Now back to Bill and Natasha.
Carol, thank you very much.
Tomorrow, another coat, duffel coat from Carol, and...
Poor Carol's out shopping now, isn't it? We're going to be speaking to Lucy Davies, of course, Jasper Carrot's daughter, Dawn from The Office, about her latest film. We're excited about that.
Hayley in The Archers, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No, we'll find out all about it tomorrow.
Have a great day. Thank you very much for joining us here on Breakfast. Bye-bye.
Yeah.